All right, well, we might get started. I know a few other people might join in and, you know, they can catch up or watch it back, so this is all exciting. Last week I posted this card to my blog. This was last Sunday's blog post, and I had a few inquiries and comments about it, you know, to me directly. So, yeah, I thought, you know what, we'll make it today. It's a nice, beautiful, quick and simple card, and it just, yeah, it's just lovely. So I thought we'll make it together today just quickly, and yeah, I'm sure it will bring many people some joy when we send those out. So the plan for today is to have a couple of these videos, and then later on this afternoon I'm going to put together a blog post with the dimensions and elements needed, so that way if you wanted to go back and create some of these projects that I'm sharing today, you can have a little bit more detail around the elements that make them up. So I hope that works for everybody. Yeah, so I'll pop this, I'll pop that there for a minute. This particular card is using the Love of Leaves bundle. This is available in the August to December mini catalogue. It's on page 49, and it features this gorgeous die set which has frames and embossing or texturizing dies, so that you can create an amazing you know, array of elements, you know, different ways to make lots of different projects with. It also coordinates obviously with the Love of Leaves stamp set, which is just beautiful, and it has that lovely watermarked look about it when you stamp those leaf images. So yeah, they're just gorgeous. And of course there's a couple of sentiments in the collection, so yeah, it's a great one to add to your stamp collection. So I'm just going to pop those aside, and I'll pop this one over here so we can refer to it. Stamping on my envelope there so that, you know, it makes a beautiful little set. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare our card base. So just, you know, slice an A4 piece of cardstock in half and then score it in half to make your card base. This is cinnamon cider. So yeah, that's the color of this cardstock. And then I have created a cardstock layering piece in the same color. And what I've done here is used the lovely stitched embossing die from the set to create this gorgeous detail. The actual piece of cardstock is a little bit longer than the die, so I had to pass that through twice. But yeah, if you can tell me that if you can pick where the join is, you're doing a lot better than me. So the first thing we're going to do is just adhere those two layers together. And for this, I'm just going to use some liquid glue. I'm a big fan of liquid glue because it gives you the wiggle room that you can use to help line things up without, yeah, you can just line things up really nicely and move it into position. So we'll just stick that there. Now the elements that we need, our layering pieces, is I've punched two pieces out of early espresso cardstock. One is the leaf, and I've used the small heart-shaped leaf. I call it the heart shape because it kind of looks heart-shaped when you turn it upside down. So yeah, and I've used the embossing or texturizing die. And then we need a circle, just a plain circle. And I've used the one from the Layering Circles die set, and it's the one that's 62 millimeters wide. So they're the two pieces that you need. We also need one of the little beautiful gold laser cut embellishments that come from the Forever Greenery suite. So that came in the annual catalogue earlier in the year, mid-year, and these are just amazing little pieces of embellishments and labels and card front sizes. They're just beautiful. So that is going to sit on like that. And of course we need a piece of ribbon, lovely material to add some texture to the card. And so, you know, I don't always measure my things, it's all by eye, so it's kind of like that's how much I need, and I want to double it over. So yeah, just fold it over and trim it off there. Ta-da! Just like that. So these are our elements. Now we just need a couple of pieces stamped. We want our sentiment that's going to fit in the corner there, at the top there. And then of course we need a leaf. So I'm using mint macaron and the lovely large leaf that's in that set. So I'm also using my Stampin' Pierce mat because it's a polymer stamp set, so it to help with a little bit of cushioning, the Stampin' Pierce mat just gives you that extra cushioning that you need so that you get a beautiful and even stamped image. Ta-da! Don't you just love that? It's just beautiful. So what I might show you as well is how these two just fit over. So what I like to do is use my magnetic shim, and that will help hold them in place. And you can do this one of two ways. You can either put this die down first and center it, and then pop this one over the outside, or the other way around. You may, whichever way you find is easiest to work, is works either, both ways. So yeah, so just run that through your die cutting machine, and then you will end up with a beautiful piece just like that. So there we go. So now it's just about popping these elements together. So we're going to just do that comes together quite quickly, again with some liquid glue, and I'm just going to pop it more towards the center of my leaf. There we go. There we go. I just love these two colors together. They really contrast well, and there's I kind of get a level of calmness about those. So yeah. Anyway, so then what we're going to do is next pop our gold laser cut element on, and that's, I'm just going to follow the shape of the circle. So yeah, how I'm going to do that is with a glue dot. So I'm just going to peel it off and roll it into a sausage. I do that quite a bit. And then I'm going to stretch it a little bit. And that's going to give me a little bit more surface area for my glue dot. And I'm going to pop it just on the edge there. So I hope you can see that. and that will allow me to yeah, use that part of the laser cut element to adhere. I'm just going to use my nail to push that down in there. So there we go. Nice and yeah, just coming together. So that's going to come together like that. And then we're going to pop our espresso leaf on. I'm just going to use a dimensional for that one. And again, I'm just going to match up the stems and just pop it on like that. Now, so what I'm going to do now it's starting to, we're getting ready to build our card. So the first thing we're going to do is pop our ribbon on. And to do that, I'm just going to grab a glue dot first. And I'm going to pop it down somewhere about here. And another one. So what I want to do is just offset my ribbon slightly so that it's not sitting on top of each other, but just, so I'm just going to offset my glue dots slightly so that they hold the ribbon in place. So there we go. And I've put those in the middle there towards the bottom, and they'll be covered nicely with our element just here. So I'm going to add a few more dimensionals to the back here. So as I said before, I will include a blog post over on my blog, obviously, and I'll pop a link in a little bit later into the comments of this video so that it's all together and you can find it quite easily if you wanted to come back and build one of these. So there you go. So that's those. That's how that's coming together. And there's just one little, well, two elements left to go, but one is the bow, and it's using the beautiful cording from the basket weave ribbon combo pack. And that's just, yeah, it's just lovely. It's a little bit, this particular gold thread is a little bit thicker. It's more of a cord than the thread that came in the Forever Greenery suite. So yeah, it ties into a bow really nicely, and bows don't just happen, you have to make them happen. So they need a little bit of fiddling to get the strands and loops sitting nicely. So I start with bunny ears and fold them and just keep pulling tight and holding the knot while I get my bows looking even. And when I'm happy with it, yay, that's when I'll trim it off and pop it on like that. So I need another glue dot to roll into a sausage to stick this one on. There we go. I'll pop that over the top of the gold laser cut element and over the end of the heart-shaped leaf. That's what I'm going to call it, because that's what it looks like to me, just upside down. And we're just going to stick that one on just like that. And now we can trim off our ends. It's up to you how much you want them sticking out. And the last little thing for this beautiful little card is the sentiment. Now, there's a number of different sentiments you can add to this card. It doesn't have to be a thank you card, of course. I'm just using a lot of those right now, so that's what I'm making. So we're just going to stick that somewhere about here. There we go. And there's our card, all done. So thanks very much for watching, and as I said, I will pop a link in a little bit later to the blog post for dimensions, and I hope that you enjoy World Card Making Day today, and yeah, and make a few cards yourself. Yeah, I will be back a little bit later on today, live again, making another card, so I hope you'll join me then.